one globe, and 13 good news stories from every corner of the world. I've marked where each story's from with these little stars, very organised, very demure. No, if you're new here, I'm Sam and I make videos highlighting good news and solutions to some of the world's biggest problems. And I'm super glad you found my channel. If you've been here before, welcome back, and if you've been enjoying these good news roundups, tap that like button to help spread the good going on, because for some reason the bad stuff seems to be really good at spreading itself. Anyway, let's get into it. Here's some good news from August that you might have missed. Dogs with backpacks are being used to restore nature by releasing seeds as our four-legged friends explore. It's been trialled by the Railway Land Wildlife Trust in a nature reserve in Sussex, England. By using dogs, they're hoping to save the labour-intensive process of spreading seeds by hand, while mimicking a more natural process as well. Seeds fall out of little holes in the backpack as dogs explore the park, aiming to imitate the way wolves or bison might have helped spread these in the past. In time, these seeds can then grow into plants and trees. Next stop, Texas. This man from Texas is on a mission to close 3.5 million abandoned oil wells all over the US. His name is Curtis Shuck, and after realizing that the oil and gas industry had left so many of these wells unclosed, which were leaking harmful gases such as methane into the atmosphere, he put his own life savings into closing them. Now he runs the Well Done Foundation, great name, on a voluntary basis, while working as a transport consultant to pay the bills. Since 2019, Curtis and his team have plugged 29 orphaned oil wells, and while they still have a long way to go, by targeting the wells which are causing the greatest environmental impact or affecting rural communities, Well Done is already creating massive positive change. On the subject of pollution, 3 of the biggest water companies in the UK may face fines of £168 million for consistently releasing sewage into rivers and seas. Here's Giles Bristow, CEO of Surfers Against Sewage, to tell us more about it.
Last year alone, there were 608,433 sewage discharges into UK waters by the water companies. This is no good. However, the good news is that a couple of weeks ago, Thames Water, Yorkshire Water and Northumbria Water were together fined £168 million for non-compliance with the law and for the failure to maintain and invest in their sewage infrastructure to ensure that this pollution doesn't happen.
With growing public pressure, along with changes and greater levels of regulation from Ofwat, UK rivers and seas might soon be a little less
There is a water bill coming through Parliament to deliver the manifesto commitments of this new government, and Surfers Against Sewage and others will be lobbying and campaigning to make sure that that water bill includes as much as possible that will make a massive shift in this system and transform it.
And whilst we're in the UK, Surfers Against Sewage actually have a really helpful app which shows you where sewage is currently being discharged around the UK, so you can stay safe if you're out swimming, and it also tells you how to get in touch with your local leaders to make them take action too. For the next story, we're heading to Cambodia. 60 Siamese crocodiles have successfully hatched in Cambodia's Cardamom National Park, the largest record of this species breeding in the wild this century. Due to decades of hunting and habitat loss, the Siamese crocodile is one of the world's rarest crocodiles, categorised as critically endangered on the IUCN Red List. Its wild population has been previously estimated at only around 400, but now, thanks to a targeted conservation breeding program established by Fauna and Flora and other local partners, these new hatchlings bring a renewed hope for their future survival. To keep the conservation theme going, we're going to head to Mozambique to hear about a forest in the sky. Scientists have discovered dozens of new species in a rainforest on a sky island in Mozambique, convincing the government to give the site special protections. A sky island is a mountain surrounded by lowlands, which results in a unique ecosystem that might not be found anywhere else in the whole world. In Mabu Forest, researchers found new species of beetles, snakes and fish, among others. These discoveries have led to Mabu being designated as a community protected area, preventing logging and mining. This protection is part of Mozambique's broader commitment to safeguarding biodiversity by 2030. Before our next story, I want to know where you're watching from and where I should look for good news stories next, so let me know down below in the comments what country you're watching from. Nations are coming together to make the super rich pay their taxes. A wealth tax for the super rich is gaining popularity within the G20, which is an international forum between the world's 20 largest economies. According to a recent report commissioned by Brazil, billionaires currently pay about 0.3% of their wealth in taxes. Brazil, who first proposed the policy, hopes to increase this to about 2%. 1% of people in the world own 46% of the wealth, but this tax would specifically target billionaires, about 0.01% of the global population who own more than the poorest 60% put together. This would raise up to $250 billion from 3,000 of the wealthiest people in the world, funding education and healthcare and supporting the global battle against climate change for the least wealthy people. Whilst there's growing support from France, Spain, South Africa, Colombia and the African Union, key countries including Germany and the United States still oppose the tax. Irony hearties, we're setting sail for Belgium for this next story. That was supposed to be a pirate and that was absolutely dreadful, I'm so sorry. The world's first wind-powered electric ship charging station has been launched in the Belgian North Sea. Developed by Park Wind and MJR Power and Automation, this charging station is connected to the Noble wind farm that can help provide clean energy to ships and reduce their reliance on diesel generators. It's like a big electric socket for ships to use to get charge. The first commercial system is expected to be operational by early 2025. While shipping is a really efficient way of moving goods, for example, air freight is about 150 times worse for the climate, the huge quantity of goods that we move all around the world still adds up. Using offshore wind farms as recharging stations could be a great way to help the transition to more sustainable power sources. And whilst we're already out at sea, let's now travel to the British Columbia coast. A First Nation in Canada have opened the first Indigenous-led blue park off the British Columbia coast. It's called Kitsu Bay, and it will be managed by the Kitsu people who hope to demonstrate a different type of conservation where humans are seen as part of nature. In recent centuries, human expansion has tended to come at nature's expense. As a result, marine protected areas or blue parks tend to focus on limiting human interaction with nature. The Kitsu hope that this park will demonstrate how humans can both benefit from their environment whilst also supporting nature's recovery. If you've got this far in the video, either you've left this video running in the background, in which case this whole segment is pretty embarrassing for me, or you're enjoying the video. So if you are, tap that like and subscribe button, it'd be ever so much appreciated. This is a photo of me and my mum having lunch in IKEA the other day, and that's a clue where this next story is from. A company in Sweden has found a way to make batteries with salt, instead of using rare metals like lithium and cobalt. Northvolt are pioneering sodium-based batteries aiming to reduce reliance on critical minerals. These sodium-based batteries are made from abundant materials like sodium, iron and carbon, offering a more sustainable and potentially cheaper alternative for energy storage and electric vehicles. While these batteries currently have a lower energy density, meaning they store less energy for their size compared to lithium batteries, Northvolt are focused on improving the technology to make it viable for long-range electric vehicles and large-scale renewable energy storage too. On the subject of batteries, there's a book called Cobalt Red that I highly recommend. It's the first ever expose of the massive toll taken on the people and environment of the Democratic Republic of the Congo by the cobalt mining industry. It's not an easy read, but it's an important one to understand how the Congo is currently powering our lives and why we need to advocate for better battery solutions. Now, let's head to Japan. A group of scientists in Japan have developed a new method for breaking down forever chemicals in just 8 hours. PFAS, or these substances, are a kind of man-made chemical used in certain plastics to stop food sticking to the packaging, among other things. Once in the environment, these chemicals stick around for a long time, earning them the name forever chemicals. Many concerns have been raised about the impact these can have when they build up in our bodies or in nature. Fortunately, a team from Japan's Ritsumeikan University have developed a technique which uses organic compounds and LED lights which quickly break them down into harmless components. We're still a long way from using this to get rid of PFAS for good, but such a simple and quick method gives hope that we might be able to in the near future. And whilst we're in East Asia, we may as well stop off at China to see what's happening there. China is on track to reach its 2030 clean energy targets this month, 6 years ahead of schedule. Although China still has the largest carbon emissions of any single country, they've also installed more wind and solar capacity than the rest of the world combined in the last 2 years. China currently produces about 40% of the world's wind energy and more solar than the rest of the world put together. The remarkable speed of their transition to renewables shows that even a highly industrial country can make the jump away from fossil fuels. We're going to end the video with a couple of stories from down under, There we go. I also wanted to take a moment to say thank you to my patrons for helping produce these videos. And if you want to help me produce more of these videos and get a shout out at the end of my videos too, just tap the link here or the link in my bio to become a patron. Now, our first story from Down Under is that the city of Wellington, New Zealand, has managed to remove every non-native mammalian predator. Mammalian? They've managed to remove all the predators that were killing off the unique bird species, thanks to the help of Predator Free Wellington. Here's James Wilcox, their project director, to tell you more.
New Zealand was once a land of birds and reptiles, fantastic creatures that existed nowhere else in the world. And unfortunately, the arrival of mammalian predators has completely changed that picture. In New Zealand, 70,000 native birds are killed every night by introduced predators. We also are at the top of the list in terms of the country with the most threatened and endangered species in the world. So Predator Free Wellington seeks to remove every single rat, stoat, possum and weasel from our capital city and all of the land surrounding it. We've divided the project into 5 phases, and at the end of last year we completed our first phase. We managed to remove every single target animal, and the bounce back of native wildlife has been absolutely amazing. So native birds have already doubled, and some of our indicator species have increased by 500%. And we now have a generation of young people growing up in the capital city of New Zealand that will never see a rat, but they will see kārearea, our native falcon. They will see kaka, our bush parrot, and they will hear ruru at night, our native owl. And we think that is a pretty amazing investment in the future of our city.
Scientists are using sea lions to map the seafloor around Australia by fitting them with cameras and GPS trackers. Sea lions are really good at travelling to outer reach habitats, and habitats that scientists are particularly interested in learning more about. Using these sea lion cams, they've already mapped large areas of the ocean which were previously unexplored, discovering new reefs and learning how we can better protect our beautiful marine life. We did it! I hope you enjoyed your digital good news journey around the world. This month, I tried to pick less stories but go deeper into each one, so definitely let me know if you preferred this format or you prefer the quickfire good news segments I usually do. Have a beautiful September, my friend, and I'll see you at the same time, same place next month. Bye!